After 30 years of war and an oppressive regime, Afghanistan is ready to rejoin the world.
As the new government comes, Afghan people has hope for a bright future and a unity country and peace and security.
But that requires education, and only 28% of the population can read. Poverty and unemployment are rampant, and much of rural Afghanistan is without electricity. In effect, they're cut off from the rest of the world. They need something that teaches them what it means to be an open, free, and democratic society, and what their rights are as human beings and citizens. And they need it taught in a way that requires neither literacy nor an electric outlook. This is Sada, voice in the Afghan language, a solar rechargeable audio player that educates for behavioral change through entertainment and culturally relevant programming. Prior to the 2005 parliamentary elections, 41,000 Sadas were distributed in 21 provinces, some as far away as a 2-day drive from the capital. On them, content that included basic principles of democracy, human rights, voter participation, and civil society governance, all to counter what was taught them by their oppressors in the past. It is programmed, edited, and distributed by Afghans for Afghans. The training and the use of the Sada is done in-country by Afghan nationals, women included.
As an educated woman, I felt proud to go to the rural area with the people who are not aware of their human rights. They don't know, as a human being, what right they have.
If you light a candle in a dark room, people use the light to see each other. The Sada played a role like a candle in a dark room and helped out people with good and useful information, which they needed for making decisions for the future of their country.
Because material from outsiders may be viewed with suspicion, Voice for Humanity works with local leaders, village elders, imams, trusted Afghans to distribute the Sada.
Though funded by Voice for Humanity, the content on the Sada device is left to the discretion of the Afghans. And even in remote villages where the Taliban has had a traditional foothold in the past, the Sada device has had an impact.
Our village is in a rural area and we don't have any access to the media and cannot get information sometimes. And anyone who is helping us in the information technology like Sada is helping us for our future development, prosperity and self-sufficiency.
From my experience from last year, the Sada played a very important role in bringing a huge number of women to the registration center, then to the polling station for both elections. In view of this, we found the majority of ladies participating actively in the election process.
To quantify its effectiveness in Afghanistan, Voice for Humanity commissioned an independent study in 2005 that focused on 2 rural provinces with very little access to most forms of communication. Those provinces did, however, have Sada. This is what that study found.
In one province, 99.5% of the people given Sadas listened to them, and 95% continued to listen to them after the elections. 96% listened with others, and 63% discussed what they heard. Most impressive, however, 98% who heard the Sada considered it a trustworthy source of truthful and useful information.
It has technological aspects to it, which lend themselves to group listening. We know that that's important. People don't just make up their minds on their own. It's important that they listen in groups so that they can discuss, they can debate. They heard their local leaders have taped messages on them, and that sort of localized it, customized it for them. It was heartening for them to hear their own people. So some compliments to those who put the programs together to be thoughtful about these issues.
Just seeing women sit around and listen to Sada together reminded me of consciousness raising and the women's movement. I have worked on a lot of women in development projects, and I've never seen men respond so positively. We had no instances of male resistance, and this was really surprising. And from the media stereotypes that we see of Afghan men being really resistant to women moving out and moving ahead, this was just a big surprise to see that the men were so open and willing to let their women move out of the house and claim their rights.
Mass media, radio included, cannot do the job alone, where the ability to hear is dictated by time schedule and length of programming. Printed material can't do it all, where people can't read. Oral learners need something they can listen to when they want, where they want, and how they want, over and over again. The key to success is the format and the relevance of the material that reaches the oral learners of Afghanistan in a way that puts learning in their own hands, informing and empowering them for a bright future in a new and hopeful Afghan society.